I mean, when it comes to kit guns, that looks pretty badass, doesn't it? But then you start going into the other chambers and it's, okay, that one's not that bad. What is that? That is exactly what it looks like. It shoots a pulse. No, wait, it actually doesn't if you actually read the description of this. It fires a wide radius plasma energy projectile. It really doesn't, because even increasing that wide range, this thing is not as impressive as it is visually impressive. That has got to be my second favourite out of all of them, followed by probably Tomefinger, which is a single fire mode one. My least favourite one has simply got to be the gaze, because it looks good, but that beam that comes out the end of it, you have to lead that thing so much, it was just... This is why this ended up as my favourite of the kit guns. You can obviously add any of these that you want. I have the Haymaker on mine. Actually, I just kind of put the footage in here from actually building it. I hope I still have that. The reason I chose this is kind of a weirdly complicated one, but if we're honest, it's the fact that the description of the Haymaker, it lowered the rate of fire, but increased the damage. Whereas the other ones they've got minimal damage, you have greater damage but slower rate of fire for things like the love tap, but it was a visual thing, it just kind of looked better, and it's the same with the loader. I honestly cannot remember what loader I even put on the thing. Ah yes, there it is, Thunderdrum, maximum capacity with increased status chance over crit chance, which gave me the combination for what I thought would be quite a fun weapon to actually use once leveled up. It's got, this thing will actually go to 100% status. It has an okay amount of impact, slash and puncture on this combination, but I know before anybody even gets into this that when it comes to the, and I really don't want to use the words most powerful, the CatchMoon will do more power. It's going to be more powerful just simply because of that. It's better to build that for the status side of it, and I will admit, I do like my CatchMoon. And it was about this point in the video that I realised the Tomefinger isn't that bad at all. The gaze, the way that the beam fires was, again, not as bad as I remembered it being. The CatchMoon, on the other hand, yeah, compared to the Rattlehead chamber, it was actually much better. The Rattle Guts, there's nothing wrong with it. This whole video was meant to be how all the rest of them are okay, but I prefer the Rattle Guts. But yep, I was very quickly converted to CatchMoon because I used all of them one after the other, after the other, after the other, and the CatchMoon still has its major issues, but surprisingly, it kind of threw me off. I know it was a really good head chamber, sorry, but I was insistent that I preferred the Rattlehead to the CatchMoon, and after using them, oh, that was wrong, and mine is pretty bad. It has impact and heat, and it's basically crit built instead of status built, and it's 50-50 because it's got 20, yeah, it's actually a really, really, really bad CatchMoon weapon. So it was definitely time to come in and say, okay, I'm going to purchase a different head because I need another one of those. And playing with the brows thing, decide which grip to put on, and honestly I wanted one of these two. The Giver's the one I was going to get, and then realised just how bad this thing is actually going to end up being, and it looks like the love tap here or the Haymaker is probably going to be best, giving the nicest percentage of, well, damage really. The fire rate and such, 1.17 isn't bad, 1.5 is a little bit better, it's got a little bit less damage but a higher fire rate, so I think I'm going to go for the love tap. And then after building it, well, you can see it's going to end up with that 35% crit chance once it's gilded, which obviously by this point it is, and I've thrown a few former on it. The basic 3 Vs, one when you gild it and one for each of the primed mods for the crit, and that was after that. you can basically dual stat it, get it a little bit higher. It won't go to 100% though, because I aimed this more towards the crit, and the lethal torrent, barrel diffusion in there kind of made it a way better weapon than the rattle guts ever was. This entire video was meant to be, well, I prefer the rattle guts than the rest of them because everybody seems to love the CatchMoon. I actually named mine Mooncatcher, just, I don't know, just reverse the name. Don't regret this at all. The CatchMoon is definitely got to be my favourite of all of the KitGun chambers. Obviously the grip that you use, the loader you use play very heavily on this, and yeah, it really needed that lethal torrent because the fire rate on this was really, really bad. It really kind of amazed me. At first, yes, it was effective, and I had this whole 6-minute rant about how it's not very accurate and it's not that good, and this is why I preferred the rattle guts to the rest of them. But again, it was when I went back and I used them all pretty much back to back, I realised, yeah, the rattle guts is actually possibly the worst of the heads, which was a huge kind of shame because when I started using the rattle guts, I thoroughly enjoyed using it, and then I started using the CatchMoon during recording the video and realised very quickly how not just wrong I was, but that thing, yeah, in comparison, yes, I still like my rattle guts. I will continue to probably use it, and hopefully one day there will be a dual wielding version of it, but I'm getting sick of seeing that for melee weapons and secondary weapons, and it just never kind of happens, because obviously if you dual wield every single weapon, eventually the single versions are just going to not be used anymore, and everything's going to be dual wielding, and it would just kind of ruin the game. I can hope for a dual wielding version, but in all honesty, given a choice for any of the current chambers, yeah, I would rather have a dual wielding CatchMoon than the rattle guts. The rattle guts just brought back some really good memories of using the twin vipers all the time, and it's been a long time since I've used a secondary that's automatic firing like that, and it was just nice experiencing it again, brought back some good memories, and then, yeah, no, the CatchMoon just annihilates it in so many ways, and having it based more on the crit side than the status side just made this thing quite incredibly useful. I'm not going to say it's powerful, because there are definitely more powerful weapons out there than this, but I think having the 140, I think it was, impact and the, was it 218 heat, definitely made this thing just that little something special that I didn't kind of expect from KitGuns. I was expecting just average based, oh yeah, he has some new stuff to play with and try and create new combinations, and honestly the amount of combinations there is quite insane for the KitGuns, but the CatchMoon, yeah, this thing was quite beastly. And then we come back to her, the Rude Zood, and oh, yeah, that's a very similar one. That's more similar to the first one I had, but hopefully they will add more heads to this, because, well, that thing, it is really useful. That one, way better than expected. That ended up being a total letdown and threw this video completely off track, because I loved that thing at first until I went back and used some of these and went, ah, that thing actually sucks. The CatchMoon, yep, I'm with everybody else on this. It has to be the best of all of the KitGun heads, chambers, whatever. For now, until they add more things in, hopefully sooner rather than later, because let's be honest, there's been, what, one expansion to the Zars, ignoring the event stuff, which hopefully there's something similar to that, but not exactly that, that will eventually come to the Orb Valis. But we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.